Hello guys, this is third part of CSS tutorial. Today I will tell you about display property. It is very important property. You cannot do anything in website development without it. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to tell you that display properties are mainly of two types, which are by default applied into our HTML tags. The first one is display block and the second one is display inline. There is a difference between them. The display block, the block elements which contains 100% width. Display inline, the inline elements are which doesn't contain 100% width. Let me show you what I mean. Make a div, an empty container, put h1 in it. Say this is a heading. Okay, go to Chrome, refresh it. As you can see, this is our h1 and this is our div tag. They both are display block. They both contain 100% width. H1 doesn't look like that it contains 100% width, but it is a display block element. Make sure that this is display block element. Every tag is or element is display block instead of these three tags. Inline tags. What are these three tags? A tag. Let me show you. Learn more. Image tag. So I will say image here just to show that it's image tag. And the third is span tag. Span is basically same as a p tag, but it is inline and p tag is not. Like I will say this, it's inline. Now you will see that these three tags will be in the inline form. If I refresh it, as you can see, these three tags are in inline form automatically. These are in one line. How? Because these three tags have display inline property by default in HTML, and all other tags, as you can see, div tag, h1 tag, h2, h3, h4, h5, ul tag, li tag, p tag, every tag you can think about are display block by default. Display block just make the element use 100% width. Let's make unordered list here. Make list item here. Type apple. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Let's make okay. Now change the fruits. Mango, banana, grapes. Okay, now save it and go to Chrome, refresh it. As you can see, these also contain 100% width because these are next to next lines, and as you can see, they all contain 100% width. H1 shows that it's inline element, but it's not, believe me. So okay, these are display block. And one more thing, display block elements have special properties. Let me show you how. If I will select h1 tag here using text selector, so and I will say text align center, save it, go refresh it, the heading is in center, you can say. Now if I want to do same with a tag, let's remove the other tags, these two tags, let's comment them. Okay, now if I want to do the same with a tag, let's select the a tag first. A tag is selected. If I will say text align center, now you will see it won't work. Sorry about that, it won't work. Why? Because in display inline properties, the text align center doesn't work. You need to make them display block, or you have to pack them up in a div. In this case, I will pack the a tag. I will pack this a tag here in a div to make it in center. So remove this and put it in a div. So here is the benefit of div. It's an empty container. I have put a tag in it. Div is by self, it's a block element, so text align center will work in this. So let's give it a class. I will say my container. So let me use it, my container, and if I say text align center here, it will work. And this, put this learn more here in the center. See this wonder, it's display inline, but the container is display block, so that's why it worked. Display block property is very beneficial. We use them to align the things, because by default inline properties doesn't align by itself. So let's make something more interesting. Now I want to make these li tags in inline. So how do we do that? Let's say I have li tags here. I will say li, let's select li using tag selector, and I will say display inline. So I have changed the default property of li from display block to display inline. If I save it, go here, refresh it, as you can see these are display inline now. Cool. Okay, now I will give each li a border. Let's say border 1 pixel, solid and green. Refresh it. Wow. Now I want to give a space between them. How do I do that? I will give margin or a padding into left and the right side of each of them. Think about them. If I will give margin to the right of apple, it will push the mango away, and I will do the same for each of them. So I will say these all are li, so I will say, I will type margin right 10 pixel. Now if I refresh it, they are more aside. Now I will say 20 pixel. Let's see. Okay, cool. Let's give it a padding. I will type padding. Let's for up and down 10 pixel, for left and right 20 pixel. If you don't know what I'm talking about padding and margin, you can see my previous video. It's for top and bottom padding, it's for left and right padding. I have gave 10 pixel to top and bottom, 20 pixel to left and right. Save it, refresh it. As you can see, it's looking cool now. Okay, now there is a one more display property which is called flex, but I will cover the next video or later it, because it's a difficult part of CSS, so I will make a full video on it later. Okay, now let's make a simple design. Okay, let's make a container, make a h1 tag. I will say welcome to my website. Okay, cool. Now I will erase all of this and I will give h1 a class called heading. Now h1 is select using heading. I can select h1 using class heading in my style.css. I will say dot heading here, and I will say background teal. What it will do, it will make this. Now I will say color #FFF. like this. Now I want to give you a tip. Whenever you start using CSS, whenever you start using your project, whenever you make a project, make sure you use star selector. 2 lines of code here. This is called star selector. What it do? It applies these property to every tag in your HTML. Every tag. Why do we need that? Because every tag has margin and padding on its own if we don't even give it. Like this has margin on its own. We don't need that. We don't need this margin. So we won't remove one by one by putting into every tag like margin 0, margin 0. So I will say using star selector, I will say margin 0, padding 0. What it will do? It will remove margin and padding from all of the tags. So let's refresh it. As you can see, it's perfectly up aligned now. Let's give it a padding. So I will give top and bottom of 30 pixel and left of 30 pixel. Now I will give top and bottom of 30 pixel and align this text into center. Okay, so how do I do that? I will say padding. So top and bottom 30 pixel. So I will say 30 pixel here. Left and right 0 because I don't need that. I will text align center it. Let's save it, check it, refresh it. As you can see, it's a big now. Now I will place this into center. So what I will say, text align center. Now if I refresh it, it's in center now. Let's decrease font weight. I will say 100. I can put any value between 100 to 900. 100 is lightest, 900 is boldest. Let's refresh it. Now it's good. And I want to tell you one more property. It is called text transform capitalize. Let's try that first. Capitalize it. What it will do, it would capitalize every first character like W, T, M and W. Let's refresh it and see the result like this. The second one is uppercase. What it will do, it will uppercase the whole text. Let's refresh it. Now it's uppercased. I have the same text here, but it will uppercase the whole text using text transform. The third one is lowercase, like this. I need uppercase, so I will say uppercase here. Let's refresh it again. Okay, now some people ask me that where to find images so we can use them in our website. So go to unsplash.com. It's a great website for images. You can find every type of image here.